Alright, so I'm gonna say it like this. My dumbass, I would say my dumbass didn't know I was muted the whole time, bro. So when I was talking to y'all, bro, I was muted, bro. Like, you know how embarrassing that is, bro? Being muted the whole time, bro. Like, come on now. I was muted the whole time, bro, for 3 hours. Not like I wasn't muted on here. Trust me, I'm not muted again. Can I check? Bro, I was muted on my headphones. Like on here, I was muted. My shit was muted. I didn't even know. I didn't even know, bro. I was like, fuck. I was looking at it. I was like, yo, you gotta be kidding me. To make it up, bro. You know what? Um, well, that was earlier. What I was saying, cause I was mute. My dumbass was muted. Um, the video we were watching earlier was a video for 3 months ago. It was 8 hours long. It was from Torn, and basically, wanted to watch it and shit like that. Basically on that YouTube channel. That's one of the Torn's YouTube channels and shit. Not their main YouTube channel. It's one of their YouTube channels, and basically we're watching all the videos on there. Don't have a little bit, so we're good and shit. Um, after we finish that video, yeah, after we finish that video, we're gonna watch the last, the last one, like the first ever video that got made to that channel, but the last video that's on that channel. So it's like, yeah. Um, basically, to make it all up, we don't want this 1 hour video of Warzone. It's a Warzone tournament. We're gonna watch it, and basically it just came out. So yes, it came out. Like I think like an hour, a couple hours ago, or some shit. But it was today, and basically, uh, basically, we're gonna watch it, and yeah, basically, and like I say, hit that like button, hit that try button, help your boy out. Come on, bro, help your boy out. Come on, I love you. Um, you know what I mean. All my killers out there, join in. We about to watch this tournament that just happened and shit like that. So let's get it litty. Um, it's an hour video, so we don't have to worry and shit. Ain't no 8 hours, none of that. I don't know where I'm going live later because I didn't know my mic was muted and shit like that. So yeah, let's do this. Hold up, I do this. Oh no, it's not. Oh no, it's only 40 something minutes. That's clean. That's clean. Hold up, yeah. Um, Torn. Y'all don't know Torn is a team I really want to be on. Um, it's an esports team. It's like next up type shit basically. I left my team. Like I'm on Torn, but I'm not on Torn. You know what I mean? I'm a content creator. I'm a esports. I'm a ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a content creator basically. Um, go I do with content. Come on, baby. But my main thing is uh like I said, I'm on Torn, but I'm not on Torn. You know what I mean? Torn have a shop. Torn do have a shop. You know what I mean? We have two jerseys on it. They cost $50 and shit. That's all. They have merchandise, shit like that, and decent shit. But you know what I mean? Uh, yeah. Let's watch this 40-minute videos basically. Warzone tournament and to get this shit litty. Come on now.
The first 2 games didn't go the way from the Falcons. It could be external circumstances.
I mean, the reason why I say a lot, because like I'm talking fast as fuck. So the only thing that just come out of my mouth, pause on Diddy, is basically, cause like you know what I mean? Like nigga, number one is I don't know what to do. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I was just muted for 3 hours. My ass was in the shit for 3 fucking hours. I didn't even know. You know why I didn't know? Because I didn't have my I'm many like read the chat and all that shit on my phone and all that, but I didn't have my phone on and all that shit. So I was like, fuck, you know what I mean? The first shit I fucked up on, didn't have my phone. You know what I mean? On none of that shit. But this time I know what was the problem and shit. I got my shit unmuted. Y'all niggas send me, blah blah blah. Let's get this shit on the road.
But you can't let that get to you, and that's exactly what the mentality of those boys has, right? They can lock it in. We've seen them go back to back, and they're going to have to do just that, because the only way to net yourself a win in the first ever Call of Duty Warzone Resurgence
Warzone,
series,
baby,
LAN
let's
at
go.
DreamHack Birmingham, baby, is to not let anyone else take that top spot at the end. You have to be the last one standing, and you have to do it after hitting 150 points. But for now, as we go through some of the areas here on Haven, let me just tell you, I want a research end game. I want chaos. I want the nastiness of it. And I think VP does too. They've been landing just on the outskirts. They've been maintaining consistency there, Goj. And I think that could be a real fun one to see.
Yeah, Destroy's fragging. I think with this small delay, I'll be curious to see if they can keep up that momentum. But it is time, folks. Game number 3 is here. And our plane line is west to east, bisecting the map. And whoa, Tip, you might have called it.
Wait, they're getting chowed. Someone just landed on them.
Cluster, and we've got all types of folks up there, including AG Global, who have swapped up their spots. No more Chapel when it's not in the early zone. We are headed all the way over to Research, going to be contesting VP. A lot of action top right-hand corner of our maps, but otherwise the Falcons free and clear on the south side, and Vitality free and clear on the west side. It does look like T1 have migrated up to Pond. They're going to be chilling up there for a little while the Ravens contest Twisted Minds, but we got some action on our screen because Research is a cluster.
I'm pretty sure my notebook might actually be a death note, and this is what I wanted. For Lotus 8, I saw some mentioning on the timeline. These boys in particular, how are they going to do? But if you've got Spectre across the way with some teams looming on the outside, why not take down Zariel? Why not take down Swizzin and get some early kills that are going to be necessary for the longevity of this map? But you have to be efficient because you do have, you're right, AG Global and Virtus Pro on the outside.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you're trying to regain, you can't really leave the bounds of this building because you're going to get killed in transition, which is bad news. If you're a Resurgence fan, you know how this works. Seeing several players down, but no teams fully eliminated. Some stabilization here.
I can't say I would be in Dragons. But
right now, it is a cluster in the top right, and in the bottom right, Lumber has still got 3 teams. It looks like Deus Amir. It looks like Los Carrilos. They're here to play, and they're here to stay. Lumber could be theirs, and they do have an interesting position split from their third as G2 holding down the right side and Gentlematez holding down mid-central Lumber.
It's going to be difficult to navigate this perfectly, right? So I am keeping my eyes on the Los Corrillos because after that map 1 victory, they decide to just say, hey, we're leaving it all. We're not going to gazebos. We're going to go chow in Lumber. And now you have to contend with massive teams like G2 that want to get messy. For Amir to anchor down in the water to make sure that Resurgence timer is going to tick down, keep that team alive as G2 sets their sights straight onto Gentlematez. Like this is everything that I could have wanted for a LAN, baby.
Kill feed's looking like it's correct. No false positives here. AG Global, they go Chow VP. See you later. 16th out of 16. Research was too hot to handle. T1 went up to Pond. They've now rotated to mid-map. By the way, the Falcons, yes, at boat, yes, uncontested. There's not a soul anywhere around them in Main Street. They've been hanging out. So the action we stay is VP find another. Picking up Adrian second. Can I make it a third from distance? Melvin down means looks like Gooey's team might be in a bit of trouble. They've lost out on Cole, by the way. Off screen, G2 have migrated up north and taking control of Cole, which means Gooey has nowhere to run, so he's got to take this fight. Grimy goes down. VP not really in trouble, just losing one. Nice and easy out in the corner.
Falcons have moved in on the Gentlemates, but we're still here with Adrian trying to stay alive for VP. A rock and a hard place and using streaks for that information to throw down. Back to the Falcons. Look, we got Dongy in the lobby, baby. Let's get into some action because you've got 1 kill. Now, mind you, this is the comeback this team needed, and it had to start now.
Yeah, this is classic Falcons. They have nothing to do. There's nobody to their north at all. The closest person would have been Barn to the north, so where do they hunt? They hunt Lumber. There's a lot of action here, and they're finding kills because of it. David Samir, Los Carrilos now in a bit of trouble. G2, they've moved up to Cole. Now they're coming back down south, hearing the shots. Said, well, we want these kills as well. We need to win out in the south side. We can hold these 2 teams, or at the very least 2 parts of these teams. Gentlemates in deep trouble now. The Falcons continue to find kills and continue to push them out of Lumber, which means G2 going to come in a 3v2 with 2 members of the Falcons, and the Falcons continue to get reaping the rewards of pushing.
Hold up, bro. I had to put that shit on mute, bro. They're doing too much. Hold up. Just keep going, bro. Come on, bro. You know, like, don't you, let's go. I think I moved it. Yeah. No, I didn't. Fuck, bro. Come on. Did I fix it? I think I did. Oh, that's so much sex. No, I did not. Oh my god. Yo, I'm getting annoyed. Hold up, let me. It's in here, bro. Are you dead serious? One fucking Discord. Hold up. I got. Well, let me.
Pushing out of their main POI, and they're winning every single gunfight. They're here with a vengeance. They're here to make sure everybody knows we're the same Falcons you saw in the NA finals.
It's crazy what you can do when you've got your team at your back. The way these 2 are moving through Lumber, it is with your right, that vengeance, that real motive. You can see the sightlines going out. You've got a buyback just behind you. But you're going to have to contend with that team just ahead of you. That number 4 on the minimap, the Gentlemates. Elsewhere, I'm seeing some big moves out of the Ravens straight towards Twisted Minds.
Yeah, this is a fight that's happened the entirety of map 2, and now the entirety of map 3. Shifty's down, Twisted Minds in deep trouble. I'm not sure. Yes, I am getting confirmation. Twisted Minds full out of this lobby. They have lost the fight in Mansion to the Ravens. The Ravens were talking a lot of crap after missing out on the finals by 0.6, and now the Ravens have won Mansion, and they don't have to move from this POI for a while. Off screen, by the way, Virtus Pro also wiped. It looks like Gooey's team was able to get a bit of revenge after leaving Cole. It is utter chaos on the map, and we've only lost 4 teams.
Gosh, the Gentlemates are out. The Falcons, they moved in. Remember, they saw the Gentlemates just ahead of them, and the Falcons moved through them like they didn't even exist. Yep. This is a different kind of level. This is the LAN level of the Falcons that we were expecting to see. Now, granted, we're just 6 minutes into game number 3, and I cannot believe, with the circle pulling up still towards that north, up towards research, you've got to maintain consistency. For fun, they like to control the center of the map, and it's been difficult difficult to hold. And now you've got to contend with a very angry Skullface.
Yeah, here's the thing. For fun, you can't really control the middle of the map. You just have to get your kills and hopefully rotate to new. And so far,
I feel like having a Warzone team, right? It's like, having a Warzone team gonna be a little bit good. I'm gonna say a little bit. If Torn had a Warzone team, I say that would be good because Warzone doing tournaments and shit like that. I just feel like having a Warzone team, it's like next, know what I mean? Next type shit basically. Cause yeah, it's just feel like it's next type shit, bro.
Here, bringing it up. It's going to be tough to get
Hold
over
on,
there
I'll be back.
with this pool. Dude, I'm manifesting stuff, Ghost. I'm telling you.
Looking for fun in the middle. Number 11. They've rotated all the way through to G2. G2 had a regain here on the south side of Research. Reminder, they got pushed out of Cole by FLS. So now that they've moved up, For Fun just sprint across the map because they see an opening. It's like, hey, this might be our only moment to rotate to new. And they are able to get there and push out G2. So nice shot from them. T1, bottom left. Falcons win out in Cole. They've completely dominated the POI. They have double-digit kills, but it's T1 still alive on this map, finally making it to maybe top 10.
Look, this is what's tough. For Fun, sure, you're picking up a couple kills. That's fun. Falcons coming for you, not going to be fun. It's going to be a big fight. So I'd love to see Juju, who I know can clutch up. He has the potential. This roster coming in as that top-seeded position from the open, have what it takes. If you've given up as much as Bubble has, moving to NA to compete from that side of things, this is where you hold the line.
Well, the Ravens are fighting Vitality on the outside of the zone, and the Ravens are holding Vitality on the outside of the zone, and I think they might have just wiped Vitality out of this map in 11th place.
Ew.
While that's happening, G2 has now maintained a piece of control on the outside of Research. Sounds like they might know there's somebody nearby, maybe heard some footsteps, but can't quite scope them out. We're going to swing over to T1 because here come the Ravens on a revenge tour. Might have missed out during the finals qualification, but we got to land and we dominated. Unfortunately, not going to win against Disrupt, top fragger, but Disrupt goes down. Echo Crush T1 out of here. They get top 10, but the Ravens are playing spoiler to everybody on the west side of the map. Down went Vitality, down went Twisted Minds, and now down go T1. The Ravens have a banger map on their hands as they've won out on west and they're moving into new.
Ravens Esports, after missing out on that direct qualification to land by just under a point, come in with a 19-kill Game 6 in the open. And you're playing like this on LAN against some of the best teams. Well, consider yourself one of the best teams so far as well. This is a story that is still continuously developing. And Research, bro, you're the center of it. Now, at least For Fun does make it inside this building.
Yeah, there's like, what, of the 9 teams, 6 of them inside of Research.
It's a party.
Hey, look, we're not at max capacity yet, but we certainly are close. Now, I am very impressed with For Fun with the way they've been able to rotate. After such a chalk start to this map, the fact they were able to regain, push through, win out on G2, holding them, and make it into Research is a big win for them. Definitely everybody can be playing for these top 5 multipliers now, and you can see this is the Ravens winning out on East. There's nobody within a country mile of them. Everybody's either inside of Research or on the south side. G2, one of the only remaining teams besides the Falcons, not inside the Research building. So G2 a little bit pushed up. The Falcons trying to take this space. You can see G2 is split on the right side, and they know somebody's coming up, so they're going to try to pitch back together and play as a team. With their third coming in a little bit late, might actually get picked up in rotation if Ahsoka knows it, but maybe a bit too worried about some of these streaks.
You have a moment to make this happen, albeit brief. Dongy here, he's gonna maybe look to invest some streaks to make this rotation easier. GT trying to hold the line, but what do you do when you have this influx? You have to back away, and Ravens moving in at the exact same time spells the end of G2. It allows Falcons to move up, take space, and now that next big fight, it could potentially be Ravens unless they decide to continue on north.
Yeah, by the way, it does look like G2 are out of this map. You didn't see it because it went in the blink of an eye. The Falcons were pressuring them. G2 tried to back up. The Ravens come in and play spoiler yet again to another banger team. Unfortunately, Donkey gets a little too aggressive. Looks for some sort of a loot. Criminal God still alive on the map and finds him in transition.
I'm wondering if he's one of the teams holding the roof, right? We told you those sight lines are disgusting from the top of research, which is going to be the bane of the Falcons' existence. But the fact is, we still have points on the board for them. Now, we turn our sights towards that research center. As that circle continuously pulls, we've seen this one played out before. It's disgusting, but it's going to benefit the Falcons through and through, because the entirety of that research center is going to have to pull towards the south, and it's going to come down to who's holding the roof, who makes the zip play, and who falls at the last second.
Honestly, I like the Falcons' position better than anybody else. I'd rather be on the south side of this than coming off the roofs or out of the windows or through the woods to Granny's house. I mean, good gosh,
wherever we go,
there is nowhere to go right now, and it's going to be, like you said, utter chaos as per the usual. A lot of floaters up in the skies, and there's certainly going to be a lot more here in just a moment with all the fights happening inside and around this buy. You can see that flare flying into the sky, and it will continue to do so as well with this buy still in zone. Soka just trying to find the angles, and Tiff, I'm going to be honest, it's going to be like shooting ducks trying to migrate south here in just a second, especially when they get the zone. Holy cow, what a gift for the Falcons. Let's see how many they pick
Who's
up.
writing this story? Who's writing this story? This is disgusting. Now, look, I've been seeing Smixy light up the timeline. She's been sending good words out for the Falcons, some motivation, but look who it's going to be. Spectre trying to get the early jump on it, but you have Ravens Esports just ahead. The duo playing low, playing slow, and bubble, bro. You just got sandwiched.
Yeah, Ravens Esports having a banger map right now. They really need to get top 5, though, and they're actually in a really tough position trying to rotate in, especially with Deusamir finding angles.
Oh.
Look at the zone. Falcons the only one in it, and everybody trying to float there, but can't get it nice and on 10. This is a huge map for Ravens, and they get top 5, Tiff. Regardless of what happens from here on out, the Ravens Esports are going to be into the top 5 100% on our leaderboard.
And it's all about acquiring points, the race to 150, and making sure that you're still in it. Falcons being inside the top 5, knowing that they are a team of 3 here, looking to end it out. We go down to 3. We're hunting the solos. We're looking to clean up the rest. And now this is our game. We are one step closer to a 1.6, but we've seen solos do crazier things. So look at the Falcons kind of spread out. They want to cover as much ground, as many angles, because that last member of Lotus 8 could do something.
Don't scam. Don't scam. Falcons are on a heater. The Falcons are on, I think, 23 or something like that. I think Noobs on 12. The Falcons are crushing it with a free south side of the map, and they easily pick up a kill on, frankly, a very good fragger from Havoc and Lotus 8. That's a big map for Lotus 8, but an even bigger one for the Falcons. They're back. How long did it take? Map number 3. Welcome back to the Falcons. Flying high, 23 kills, or 24 kills, rather, with that final one with a 1.6. Might be the biggest map of the day, Tiff. Well done to them.
Well done, well deserved. Congratulations to the Falcons. I'm telling you, when your backs are against the wall, when things are not going your way, you shake it off and you freaking perform. You lay it all out.
We could play 12 games. We could play 15 games or more. Or we could wrap it up here in 8 or 9, depending on how the Falcons do in this map. But moving into map 7. Big question in my mind, Tiff, is where is our zone? What is our plane line?
Look at that plane line, Goj. We are in for a wild map as we pull it on up. We ride through with some of our teams. We've got the early contest moving on. But you have to switch things up. Vitality and T1 at train station.
Yeah, again, it's a Western zone, which means train station is going to be hotly contested in general at some point. I wasn't expecting T1 to come back here, but it sure makes a lot of sense. They still have a lot of, not ego, but they've got a lot of skill. They've won all the other tournaments, and they're not winning today. They go back and challenge. It looks like they've actually pushed off the competition. The Ravens are over here at Chapel, getting really mixy as well. Looks like Kiriko's over here. We have shifted some things up, folks, and already the Ravens continue to play spoiler to their competition, winning some gunfights, but there's 3 teams in the area. Looks like Deusamir is over here. Los Clarios is over here with AG. It is utter chaos around Train and Chapel.
You know where else is chaos? Right here on your screen. Pond, VP, Gentle Mace. And it's going to get nasty because you think about the amount of ground loot that's around here, some angles. Enkyo's got a pistol and a damn dream. Like, we are trying to hold on because VP has proven how formidable they were in those first few matches. So Enkyo dancing around, holding angles, drops Adrian. That's a clean one. What does he do? He makes the great escape, and Hollow is there for the backup alongside Grom, who falls. No, Hollow gets picked apart. Enkyo,
I'm back, boy.
you have got to survive, and you are surrounded.
Oh, they're hunting him. He's got a pistol. Did he move enough?
No!
Wait for it. No, Gentlemates are gone. Virtus Pro smartly make a move to Pond. This is something we saw in the regional finals. They leave Research. When the zone pulls this far west, that's too far of a rotation to make. Gentlemates go down first in map number 7. Disaster for the Frenchmen. See if they can regain in future ones. For now, VP will breathe. Are you excited? They won an early engagement and hopefully start creeping their way up the leaderboard. We got to go check out some more action, though. Dragons leading this Lotus 8 team by a gigantic margin in the kill category. Saw them in the top 5 in individual kills, but the team's in 11th. That team's got a lot of work to do.
Especially if you want to be in the top 4, and that's where it needs to be. Shifty, though, over here, Twisted Minds sets his sights with a PA straight onto the face of Spectre. Still hasn't dealt the finishing blow. They're currently hunting for him. Takes some damage right there because they don't care. Oh my god, wait a second. Authentics. Okay.
Shifty's not losing that. By the way, in that interview, I think the desk briefly brought it up. He got interviewed by Pulscheck earlier. Basically said it feels like I'm playing pubs. Everybody's scared, we're not, and therefore we win. Which, hey, you know, fair enough. Shifty is top of the individual fragger leaderboard, having a great day. We'll see what they're able to do.
Yeah, he did say that about Ravens Esports. He definitely did. Good thing to note, Ravens Esports alive for the time being in Main Street. Vitality, this is the reset of ages. We have become one with the water, the way of the wind, and I don't blame them because the way the circle's pulling, they're going to have to emerge themselves, but all this is doing is allowing T1 the time and space to spread out and hunt them down.
Well, Kremlin got in deep trouble, almost makes the great escape off the rooftops. Unfortunately, Amir can't get his trade, but Zdark's there to do the thing that Amir could not. So we pick up 1, and again, this is classic. This goes back to map number 1. Dace and Mir and Co, Los Correos, they moved down to gazebos again and are going to play this southwestern side of the map based on the zone. They're kind of showing us the way Haven's Hollow is, I don't know if meant to be played is the correct term, but the way it can be played, which is your drop spot is highly variable based on the zone, and they're doing a great job of it. They went out on the southwestern side currently, still got a lot of work to do in Main Street, and they harried some folks up at Train. But back to Twisted Minds we go, and unfortunately Authentic's not going to make it out of the zone on that one. Shifty finds another.
You cannot escape Shifty if you're Authentic. So you see Twisted Minds up there at Mansion. Falcons on the south side. They start putting their kind of thorns over in that gazebo side. You have Los Crios, that number 14, just ahead of them. Now, Vitality has been on the move, just kind of farming that resurgence timer as their rotations, trying to basically get some grounds on land. I want to see them give some weapons, and they're going to have to inevitably take this fight against Light Unlimited and potentially Los Crios.
Speaking of teams we haven't really talked too much about on this map, AG Global on 9 kills, by the way, mid street, or Main Street rather, and they are fighting for their lives, and it's working. Something has clicked for them in the second half of this event, and they desperately need these points. Even after around a 20-point game, they're still pretty far down the leaderboard. They need these bad. G2 has been pretty quiet after the first couple drops, but they're all 3 alive, moving out through Trainwreck, moving into Main Street on the backside of Ravens and AG Global. G2 not out of the weeds yet, especially when they lose sight to Z-Smith on the north side. Twisted Minds rotating through Barn, picking up kills because they can. They've got a lot of ground to work with. Their anchors playing back by Pond and of course Mansion, but they're alone up there as the other 2 hunt for kills around this barn area. You can see them just outside of view. Team 13 running for their lives and running for the hills. Millsy goes down. Twisted Minds are hunting down their prey. It does look like pubs for them currently. Shifty on 8.
8 is massive. It truly is. If you were north of 100 points for Twisted Minds, if you're hunting down the Falcons, this is a performance that is going to do just that for you. But your goal is to find even more kills. You pushed out G2. They found themselves at the helm of Ravens Esports. And even then, this is where the remainder of Lotus 8 went. So you've got multiple teams surrounding you, and that one hurts. That one hurts for Ravens Esports at the hands of Big Man.
And just getting some intel, but G2 is trying to figure out what they're going to do against Ravens. Again, G2 is in 12th overall, by the way. They started out pretty solid and now really struggling to find any points. This map could change it all if they can win their fight in Main Street, but we move over to Vitality, who lost the fight in Train Station. They've had to regain. They found a few kills along the way, but they're chilling in the water, waiting on a few more zones to figure out where they need to go. You also see Los Carrillos over in the water as well. And who are pushing everybody into the water and pushing them out of the south side? It's the Falcons. We'll show you them in a little while because the Ravens and G2 are about to engage. G2 trying to rotate to new, get into a better position. The Ravens down to a solo, just waiting, lurking, hoping their teammates come flying back in here shortly. I'm sure those timers are getting quite low.
And the thing is, that information went the way of G2. Look what happens. We're down to a solo. And now you're getting even more information, and this time it's given to you by Niacin. Now, here's the deal, though. He did enough to get his 2 teammates back on in, but we need weapons that they're going to feel comfortable with.
Hello.
So good angle on taking down Anxiety like that. Sure, you get a bit of punishment there, but you're alive, and that's all that matters.
Peekaboo. Reminder, Niacin shoots straight. Finds 2 members of G2 just trying to figure out where these 2 new players of the Ravens are. That caused enough distraction for Niacin to pick up 2, and now G2's down to a solo trying to do the exact same thing the Ravens just did, which is hide in a corner and wait for my teammates to fly back in, so hopefully we can piece something together. Now we're missing 4 teams, still 12 teams on the map. The Falcons have won out on the south side. These 2 teams are going to rotate straight into the Falcons, or maybe they won't even get there. The Falcons are on the hunt. You can see them, that red one. Falcons finding angles off screen. That's Nudes finding FLS. On screen, Dongi hunting down these 2 teams who have been chalking each other. And Ahsoka is picking up kills.
Yeah, he is. They are basically putting pressure on the surrounding teams, and Soka is giving them the intel they need to make sure that they can attack in full force. Love that Noobs is just out here in a distance hunting. Don't think he's gonna get credited with that one, but still G2 under fire.
Yeah, Falcons doing a really good job of winning out the south side. They've pushed everybody else into the water. Vitality, Amir, FLS, all just swimming around out there trying to figure out where are we going to go from here, because the Falcons have won out on the land, crossing bridge now. Ravens have done a good job to stay alive, restabilize, and they're going to cycle up to the north. They don't want to fight the Falcons. Here's the problem. Twisted Minds are up there on double-digit kills, holding down the top side of the map. You have nowhere to run, so the Ravens try to run straight through the middle, and on the opposite side of the zone, holding the coast, is T1. They win Train Station, and welcome back. A return to form, T1. We've been waiting for you. You win your original POI and spams on 11.
Yeah, this seems to be the T1 that we have seen historically based on online qualifier performances. So good to see them putting some numbers up. I believe they're on about 19 kills. 19 Gosh. That is insane, right? Because I'm looking at 9th place overall as we run. That's 1.2x multiplier. So we want to make the most of this. Getting into top 5 is the absolute mission. And honestly, a win is what they need.
By the way, Vitality just got full wiped, and I do believe they might have gotten 10th, so they do get a little bit of multiplier, but I don't think they had a ton of kills, because reminder, they lost to T1 on Train. They were just shoved out into the water, and have been trying to make the best out of a bad situation. We do see Amir in the water, full team of 3 in the water, finding a couple kills. This is some wild war zone. It's getting wet and wild and wacky out here in the water as we're just swimming and dolphin diving up and down, catching a breath of air and hiding again. This is a way to play, and for now it is the right way to play. But on the other side of the zone, a big gunfight. Twisted Mind trying to get aggressive, and the PA drops 2. Shifty in deep trouble as a solo. T1 getting aggressive. They need to win desperately. A most wanted flags that can do a whole lot, but you all 3, Swarm, Shifty, all 3 go down. Well-placed PA and a great follow-up. T1 back into original form. A huge map on their hands.
Twisted Minds out, T1 up, breaking 20 plus kills. They set their sights straight on to G2, the battle of the road. You've got Spam and Disrupt kind of leading the charge, taking angles, investing streaks. Hopefully we can grab, you see those armor cracks right there? That's gonna be that firing signal. The moment they can move in and encroach on that, they can. But when that circle pulls back, we actually need to go forward. Everyone has to push towards them, even including the duo of Ravens Esports.
Yeah, this zone, by the way, you can't even see it on the minimap because it's all the way on the water. I believe it's actually Virtus Pro just holding dead center on the edge of zone. And well, Spamcola just does not care, and he didn't ask. G2 is out of here. G2 falling not in the top 5 is bad news if you're a G2 fan, as they are well outside of the top 10. There goes the Falcons. As a reminder, the Falcons, the only team probably with Twisted Minds out, definitely, that can make it to our Call of Duty Warzone match point of 150. They likely need to win the map to do that. They take down Dragons and they make it to top 5. Great multiplier, but the 1.6 could push them across the finish line here to get to 150.
This is going to be so interesting. Virtus Pro up there, Los Criollos in the water, T1 main train, and it's going to be the Falcons wrapping around. The thing is, who's going to target each other first? Because right now the Falcons are focused on Los Criollos in the water.
That's right, and Virtus Pro is still alive. Again, Virtus Pro won against Gentlemates up at Pond, and because of that, it's given a mistake inside the top 5. Spam barely misses them. That could have been some free kills, and the zone does pull back. T1, the Falcons gonna get aggressive because of it. T1 Spam just ego chows a full 2 out in the open and loses his life because of it. Oh, that is a young man's chow yet again, this time from T1, and he gets punished for it. We do have a most wanted flag still, I think, for T1, so that actually might pop and get Spam back in. No, unfortunately, they kill him before it pops. Echo is down. They desperately needed the win, but still a great game from T1. Could have a chance in this event. Unfortunately for everybody else, the Falcons are frying. They wipe all of T1, and now they've got Virtus Pro in their sights. And down below, you've got Los Criollos, and Hisoka's finding them as well.
And we're down to the final 3 teams, the final 6 players, and 3 of them are the Falcons, looking to net themselves another win. This is their game to lose, basically just hunting. However, you see Soka go down there on the rooftop. So what does Noobs do? He grabs the nade, tries to anchor down, uses the bait, finds Adrian, and now look at the self-res coming through for the Falcons.
Perfect cross hold from the Falcons at perfect time. VP fall. Noobs, the hero of the Falcons, but the Falcons soar high as they win the map on a 1.6, and I believe they got enough kills to cross 150 points, or it is very, very close. We'll let the admins do the math, but the Falcons dominate the map.
Listen, Soka, a man of many words, a man of very many expletive words when he needs to be. And this feels like one of those moments where you can see he's locking on in. He's yelling at him, come on, doggy, come on, Eddie, we got this. Let's go ahead. Let's lock in. Let's clutch this one on up. He's watched too many of these games slip on by them. That has absolutely been their curse. Could this game 11 be when they finally come out and do it? Because, hey, to be the first team to cross match point threshold, and even if it might take you a little bit to get there, who cares when you got a W in the column next to your name? But map number 11, this might be our last one. I'm with Taylor. I wouldn't hate to see it go one more either, my friend. Let's get ready. Let's drop on into it as we get a zone that's pulling heavy towards the east.
Hellish contest over to Lumbermill. Gentlemates G2, Los Criollos are back for action. Criminal Guards going to squeeze forward here. And actually, G2 have just decided to go and fight Gentlemates. They don't want any of the LATAM squad. And I don't blame anyone for not wanting to run at them. It's so damn good today. And Crimmy's actually going to spot one. Just going to slow it down for a half second as clusters rain in from the skies. Remember, you don't need kills at this point. You can just slow it down, but they want control of Lumbermill so they can slowly work forward from there.
Yeah, I think if Los Criollos, if they can manage to really just wipe out Lumbermill, manage to hold it, they don't have to worry as much about Falcons maybe sliding on over from boat to cause this chaos, right? They can hold the line, watch that zip, make sure that no movement comes on through. But Criminal God playing patiently. Some great shots will get dropped, though. So unfortunately, the shots go a little bit wide. I thought you had a teammate there to swing out for the trade. It's just not possible. You can see Zdark kind of playing by himself forward. The Gentlemates, they've started a regain. They want to kind of enter back on in over here at Lumbermill. And I don't mind this from Los Carrillos of having one player just completely off into stacks here, just playing isolated by themselves on top of the rooftop. Maybe get some shots across, not too worried about that, but they'll be able to hang on for the time being, and Lumbermill will continue to stay a hotbed of activity.
Yeah, it should stay plenty safe for now. The only problem is your anchor is relatively static, so that's a lack of contracts, that's a lack of looting that could affect your economy for later on. So you do want to get control of this lumber mill sooner rather than later. What you're hoping for is Gentlemen and G2 to fight each other, quite frankly. Let's take a look over at Mansion. Twisted Minds, they have loadout, and they have control of Mansion. A lot of space to play in, pretty much the entirety of the northwestern quadrant here. Nearest team's going to be Barn, and over towards the train cars. Let's look back in it. The LATAM team. NKL finds Criminal God, and Dark's gonna do the right thing. Back off, let them two squabble, sit nice and pretty.
Yeah, this is kind of one of our only few match point teams that is actually kind of seemingly in the mix, it feels like, right? Twisted Minds, they have Mansion all to themselves. Falcons, they got Boat, doesn't really matter. Ravens, they kind of are chilling in that Main Street area. They're getting a couple of squabbles, but nothing really too crazy. It's just Los Carrillos here early on, which doesn't necessarily bode well, but if they can come out on top here, this would be huge. Zdark LMG in hand. He's going to be able to find one right in hand. Tries to slide on through. Find another. Unfortunately, Enkyo just has the right position. Criminal God has to back on up towards Amir, but kind of getting hunted right now. Goes very low and will get dropped. So just like that, it's Amir, the only one alive, but Resurgence timer is still ticking. You got Zdark back on in.
Yeah, Amir with the veteran play. No rush of blood there. Keeps it calm. Slows things down. Let's do Zdark back in. Criminal God will surely join them soon. A lack of loot available to this team, though. Amir's going to have 8 plates. Crimmy's only got 2 in his vest. So you're looking to just kind of free him up for a moment. Can we get to your loot? Can we get to your guns? Can we get you some plates, some money, some landmass? All that is going on over there. VP, who sit on the cusp, on the bubble. Currently 6 points away from qualifying to the Esports World Cup in the summer. They're finding a lot of kills here at Research. They're going to get control of a lot of it, and that's not an easy thing to do. 3 teams trying to contest this. It's very difficult to wipe teams, but you're putting yourself in the best spot.
Oh, and I like this. Destroy. He's going to get some reads. You had a player knocked below you. Wasn't by anybody on your team, so you know there's at least one more squad nearby. No worries there, but look at where the zone is starting to pull. It's pulling these players out of Lumbermill. You gotta go more north towards Research Center. That's gonna be Los Carrillos. They have to start moving, but they're gonna get found out by G2, and yet again, blink and you'll miss it. It's Amir, still alive. Zdark is here as well, but he's gotta just be floating in the sky, figuring out where to go. And it will get found on out. He's going to land electrical, but look at this G2. They might get the sense that that's where this player's moving on in, and they could just start flying for this and maybe get out one of our match point teams early.
Confirm the spawns will come back in for one of those boys, likely Crimmy. It's a tough place to be, and well, Vitality in a considerably worse place. Your anchor is going to be sat up for long enough that you get back in, but well, as bodies are flying back in for that Vitality roster, by the way, one's just been plucked out of the sky. They may be wiped here. No, thankfully they managed to get themselves back to their feet for a moment. Twisted again, just with so much control, going to complete a recon. That's going to tell them where the end zone is going to be, or at least a deep circle, and allow them to play for positioning ahead of everybody else. Again, another veteran play out of Amir. It is not pretty Warzone, but it is effective Warzone. Zdark is brought back in.
I mean, it just my worry here though is that they're not really like creating space on the map for themselves. Compare that to Twisted Minds, who just they kind of flex on out. They get a couple of those kills on Vitality, push them more south. That means they don't have to worry about somebody make this late rotation through Mansion on them, right? They're going to be a-okay just to kind of hold the line because they're still in zone, right? They still have the entirety of Mansion to themselves, and it's in zone, and they don't have to really work. I'm looking at that kill feed though. I'm seeing Heeds being able to take down Scummin, so Ravens Esports still in this. Curios still taking teams off the board, and it looks like they're actually going to make their way up towards those northern train cars just above Research, and I don't mind that at all. Hold that line and just kind of poke some fun down at Research, what's going on there. But for the Falcons, they've managed to rotate up through Cole. They take down G2. They gain control of this POI.
I watched pretty much all of that on the map view, and they just decided to hit the go button, play straight out of Main Street, cross the river, and bury G2 into a drop 12 if there is going to be one. Cold Depot will belong to them. One of our match point teams, of course. Los Curios, they're still trying to figure out that regain situation. One body alive off towards Research. Twisted Minds, all the control we spoke about earlier. For Ravens, they hold that north side. That's where our match point teams sit. Los Curios are somehow still going.
Yeah.
I've just watched the one remaining player die, but 2 bodies back in the sky and continuing to look for a place. And look, in Resurgence, it's never chalked.
It is never chalked, as a once famous Major Maniac said. That's definitely a word of advice for some of these teams here. Los Curios, I'm seeing 1 player alive over at Research. You have 2 different teams near you. You got T1, you got Team Clown near you. You just have to stay alive long enough. So you're doing a great job of staying alive, Enigma. What happens when the Resurgence timer stops?
The fact that Amir's managed to get himself back in is impressive, and you're right about the Resurgence timer situation. Can't afford to throw many lives away now. These boys need to find a quick little pick, scoop loot from the bodies, and build themselves into a late game strategy. Research Center is not the place to be trying to do that. It is also not going to be a place to safely put your anchor. But for now, it will be home. As you hear players zip around them. Got T1 just above you for company as well.
A lot of action happening here at the Research Center. Twisted Minds still up there towards Mansion, kind of flirting with For Fun below them if they can. Some great shots here from Z-Dark will help you obviously get this team down.
Big.
A little bit of shaky there is, whoa, look at that. Amir gets dropped and Destroy's actually going to be the one. Swings on forward. He's going to get the cleanup onto Swizzin and the full onto Amir. What should have been a very simple 2v1 right there from Los Curios. You'll lose Amir in the process. A little bit shaky, a little bit sloppy from that squad, Enigma. Would love to be able to see them kind of touch up on the fights there.
Ravens, by the way, are setting themselves up to pin Twisted Minds in. Been sat up on that bridge for a very long time, awaiting the challenge. And Twisted Minds shall certainly provide. Shifty's going to light it up with a PA, force a player to back off at least. That's going to split the Ravens roster a little bit. Shimmy that line around. And hopefully unsettle them enough to give you a route through. North side push coming in from Almond, though. He's decided to wide wrap this, but he has been spotted. Needs the rest of his boys to activate, or is he sitting duck?
Looking down at the bridge, Almond, if he can pull their attention, you might let Shifty get into a possible scenario where he can sort of pinch from the other side. He's getting tagged on up. Cluster coming in from the top. He has to be very careful here. Swings wide, finds 1, finds 2. Twisted Minds are going to turn the tides on Ravens Esports. Only 1 player left alive, but you lose Z-Smith. You lose Shifty. Almond, he's still here, and it's T1 from the roof of Research who causes spoiler. But in the middle of all of that, Ravens Esports, one of our match point teams, has been eliminated.
So we're down to 3. Los Curios, what is left of Twisted Minds, and the Falcons. Falcons will hold a lot of space at Coal Depot. They basically have the south side of the map to themselves. Los Curios still figuring out Research Center there amongst the madness. Twisted Minds, well, you can see in not even bits and pieces. Almond will try and hold the line and pray to the gods. The fact that Los Curios are still alive is incredible. They win this from there.
Oh my god, good shots on to Vitality, continuing to back them on down. This is what now that they've sort of regained it, this is what I like to see, right? They don't have to full fly at that. They don't have to go get the knock, but just being able to get those shots out is enough to make Vitality second think about, okay, can we really push on through here? Because you've backed them on down. That's going to allow you to turn your sights over to Virtus Pro, who's now trying to look down this hallway and hold it on in. And you have to be extra careful too, because look who's right above you. It's T1. If you let this fight get a little bit too mixy, T1, they can slide on down here and they can start to get engaged in this battle. So go ahead, send out the shots, back down some of these other teams, but the zone is pulling you away. You're gonna have to move from Research at one point or another.
Confirmation that Virtus Pro and Vitality have both made match points. Should we go another game, we will see 6 teams square off to take it all home. Los Correos want to end it right here. Los Correos have dug themselves from the depths of hell
Oh my
to
God.
somehow be in the top 8 teams of this lobby. Circle 5, gotta rotate. Allman desperately trying to smoke his way to the buy station. It's Falcons players in front of him. He's going for the suit. He won't get there. Soka will bury him. Twisted Minds won't make it. Down to just 2 match point teams. Falcons already controlled the south side of the map, rotated hard west to control pretty much the entire rotation over. They hold win condition. Everyone's got to figure out the research situation, get themselves across, and shut down the birds. Otherwise, they claim it all here and will take first place and head to EWC as champions.
Soka's gonna have a lot to say about that one. Ben caught with his knife out. That is not what you want to have happen when you're trying to go for that double buyback. Vitality, it's just Blast trying to stay alive. Los Correos will be able to cut them on down. Vitality eliminated. Still hanging on by a thread, and that is until T1 plays a little bit of spoiler. Cuts you on down. Blink and you'll miss it. The Falcons are here. They are the only 3 players alive. Spam getting dropped. Dongi dropping. Echo T1 eliminated. It is a 3v1 to end map number 11. They were the first team to cross Call of Duty Warzone match point. They couldn't get it done, Enigma, in the time that they wanted, but it doesn't matter because when the time was right in map number 11, they take it by the horns. They soar towards the skies. They take the win.
How they have managed to see themselves through what has been a torrid time on match point. The man right there, the closer, making the call. The big rotation was on. They sat back from all the trouble. Took control of Cold Depot. Let everybody else squabble over research. We'll gamble on the zone pool, gentlemen. It's worked for us in the past. When it comes in, they rotate hard to the west. Lock it down until everyone out of research run at us. We dare you. Beautiful stuff from these 3, of course, for Soka. This is walked path. He knows victory. Dongi and Noobs. This is a statement moment on LAN and guarantees them that trip to Saudi Arabia.
Dongi, Hisoka take the stage. Dongi's been fighting tooth and nail to get to this point, to be up there, right? To be a champion. And he is now officially that. Of course, the job's not done. EWC is on his mind, but for now, they can rest easy, knowing that they hoist the trophy, knowing that they earned the medals, the $30,000. Such a tremendous occasion. Adam also on the stage, leading the charge behind the scenes, putting in the work. Such an incredible guy. We love Adam. Adam also just truly dedicated to the program, making things best as they possibly can be. The GOAT. But such a good job, man. I mean, the Falcons, you know, this roster, since they entered into esports, and more specifically here it goes, entering into Warzone, biting the metal, giving the peace sign, yeah, flying high, baby. You know, they believed in Hisoka, they picked him up, and naturally he stays the course, he stays with this roster, he stays with this org. And you know, for him, like, it's got to be such a good feeling, right, to now get another title for the Falcons.
Oh, yeah, 100%. This is an ego boost that, frankly, they didn't need, but it's still well-earned, right? This is a really strong roster, and I got to continue to tip my hat to Eddie, man. Noobs is a difference maker for already a star-studded roster. Having the Falcons with Dongi and Hisoka, and now Noobs really creates a full picture for what this team's able to do. They're celebrating because, yes, it is well-earned, and they crushed the competition, but it was a very good event.
Shit. Hold up. Hold on, give me a minute. Yo, y'all hear me? Yes, y'all do. Basically, you know what I mean? Good tournament, you know, W Falcons. Fucking like I said before, you know, I went live. Maybe I'm going live later. Like I don't know. I mean, like I that don't know, but maybe possibility like in the nighttime and shit. So if I do, you already know. Y'all don't see me pop up and shit. But if I don't, then tomorrow morning. But be on the lookout. But love y'all. See y'all. It's your boy MK.